So we now know what DNS is. We know that DNS just takes a domain name and it converts it to an IP address so we can go find that server. Now, how exactly does it actually work though? How it does this is with something called DNS records. And I'm going to give you an analogy. Again, my analogies are terrible, so please don't hate me too bad. But it's essentially this in an ultra uber simplified form. Think of a DNS server kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. So here you can see my super awesome, great DNS server. And what we're doing is basically when we do a DNS lookup, when a computer goes to a DNS server, it says, hey, do you have the IP address for Facebook.com? So it comes down, it's super long list of all the different websites throughout the whole world. And it says, yes, I do have a domain name for Facebook.com. And we say, great, if you have it, give me the IP address. So what we do is we look in our list and we say, great, okay, you have this IP address here. It gives it back to the computer and it knows where to find that server. And again, let's say I'm John Smith. I sit down at my computer and I want to go to avocadotoast.com. I go to Chrome or whatever browser I have. I type in avocadotoast.com. My computer says, okay, I know that John wants to go to avocadotoast.com. I don't know where that is. Again, it reaches out to the nearest DNS server. It says, do you have a listing for avocado toast? It says, yes, I do. The IP address is 2.4.6.8. It sends it back to the computer. The computer says, thanks, I appreciate that. And now we know the exact server that we need to go to, which is 2.4.6.8. Okay, so now let's say I have a web hosting company, because I do. Let's say I get a new client and they have a website and it's listed at avocadotoast.com. And they say, I'm with Bluehost right now. I don't really like it. It's slow, it's buggy, it just isn't working for my business. Is it okay if I move my website over to your server? I say, great, I would love to handle that for you. So what I'll do is I will copy all of the website files, the databases, everything, and I'll show you how to do that in a later video. But we're going to move all of those files and the databases over to my new server. The problem, though, is that DNS hasn't been updated yet. DNS is still looking at the old server, which is 2.4.6.8. So what I can do is I can come back here and I can come into my DNS records and say 2.4.6.8, that's not my server. I don't want it to point there anymore. So I'm going to do, I'm going to change it to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Great. This is my server's IP address. And now whenever anybody goes to their computer, types in avocadotoast.com, their computer does a DNS lookup and says, where is the server for avocadotoast.com? Because we updated the records for it, it's now not pointing at 2468, it's now pointing at 1234. Now, one last thing, if you're ever curious what the real IP addresses are for any given website, again, this is just a dumb example, but it's really easy to find those. Go to this website, dnschecker.org, and what you can do is you can just type in any website that you want. So I'll type in my website, which is brycejmatheson.com, and say search, and you can see here that my IP address is 68.66.216.21. That's the IP address to my server. Anyone on the internet can access that server. If I want to go to, I don't even know if Avocado Toast is a real website. It looks like it is. And their server is 185, 165, yada, yada, yada. This website will show you the actual values. And this is a good troubleshooting tool, which we'll talk about in further videos.